Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to today's episode of Morning Wealth. Wishing you all a great week ahead as well. Changing the format a little bit today, adding a week ahead section where I'll summarize the events that we're looking forward to this week, apart from the usual coverage on macro, a little bit of fixed income and equities as well. So let's start. On the macro roundup, the Dow abruptly turned lower on Friday after Apple said it was closing some stores due to a rise in coronavirus cases, stoking fear of another lockdown. During a choppy trading session, the Dow rallied at the opening bell and swung more than 600 points on Apple's news, then staged a partial comeback in the last hour of the session. In the end, the blue chip index closed about 0.8% lower. The tech-heavy Nasdaq composite eked out a small gain of less than 0.1%. All three indexes posted weekly gains of at least 1%, reversing a sharp drop that we saw in the week earlier. The increases were basically fueled by central bank stimulus efforts. Cautious optimism that the economy is recovering from the pandemic as well played its part. The setup as we go into for this week's trading, the Aussie and Kiwi fell in early trading. That's the earliest signals that we can get in terms of the sentiment in the market, while the yen was barely higher. Asian stock futures are lower after Wall Street ended last week on the back foot amid the coronavirus inspired volatility. Treasuries rose on Friday, taking the 10-year yields down to around 0.68%. Oil prices rose to a 3-month high. New York crude futures climbed about 2.3% to settle at about 39.75. New data is showing that further declines in the count of US oil rigs is a bullish sign for energy markets, as it shows oil drillers are reining in on production. Gold climbed by about 1.2% to 1743, and it's near its short-term resistance of 1750 that we have seen holding up for the last couple of weeks. So in terms of the week ahead, these are the things that we're going to kind of watch out for. The IMF releases new 2020 growth projections, and the outlook will probably be worse than in April, when it warned that the global GDP would sink by about 3%. Russia and US are to hold talks around the arms control. EU and China are also discussing their future relationships. China and India ties will also be in focus after last week's border clashes. RBNZ may vote to keep its official cash rate on hold on Wednesday. China's one-year loan prime rate will probably remain steady in June. We're going to look forward to flash PMIs, which will give clues on the extent of the recovery in the euro area. The UK gauges will also probably climb from May levels, but are unlikely to break the 50 mark. Germany's IFO survey is also due. We will also be looking ahead for ECB's minutes. On the US side, we'll be looking for personal income and spending, which will be the key release on Friday. It may reveal whether spending on services is catching up with spending on goods. Existing home sales, new and existing home sales will be coming out. PMIs and durable goods are also some data points that we will look forward to. Jobless claims are expected to continue their downtrend, and the Fed will also release stress test on US banks. So that's pretty much what we will be looking forward to in terms of the week, in terms of data points. Earnings, Nike, BlackBerry and H&M are some companies that we'll be looking forward to in terms of their earnings. Apple, in the meantime, also hosts its Worldwide Developers Conference online, and SoftBank Groups will also hold its AGM. In terms of equity news, Blackstone is emerging as a front runner to take over L&T Mutual Fund in India in what would be the first entry of a major foreign PE firm into India's 350 billion asset management industry. On the fixed income side, Wall Street syndicate they expect to sell about 25 billion of investment grade this week. In high yield, we'll be looking forward to American Airlines seeking to raise about 2 billion from a junk bond offering. United Airlines is said to be readying about 5 billion debt sale that may have one investment grade rating. So that's your update. It's going to be an interesting week. Stay safe and healthy, everyone. Thank you.